I bought a backwards compatible PS3 from So you're saying DKOldies that I almost said DKOldies again. I bought a backwards compatible PS3 from Lukie Games for over $500, and in this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at the console and see if anything was actually refurbished. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. You can tell from the top, it is indeed from Lukie Games, and looking at the side, we do have a sticker that says PS3 80 gig system model, so it should be a backwards compatible 80 gig model, the CECH E01. Now let's go ahead and slice it open and see what's inside. All right, so open up the box, and first glance, wow, we have... Oh, that's not great. Let me take this packing slip out and then I'll show you this. All right, so in the box there were two pieces of paper. The other one was like my invoice with my address and everything. We got this other piece of paper that says, "Congratulations on purchasing a PlayStation 3 system from Lukie Games. This is a used PS3 system that has been cleaned and tested." So right off the bat, that's not a great sign that on the piece of paper they're calling it used, but on the website they call it refurbished. Now the first thing I noticed here is that they have these packing bubbles or air pillows, what are you going to call them, on top, but they're all popped. I don't know if that happened in shipping or if they, I don't know. It's a little bit concerning though. And then we have, let's see what we got here. We got our controller and we have an OEM controller. Oh baby, that's a good start. We have an OEM controller and this thing, oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, we'll get into this later, but that thing looks pristine. Wow, okay, impressive. We've got, of course, our charging cable here. Plug it into your controller. We've got a, we actually have an AV cable, not an HDMI cable. That's an interesting choice. I guess I mean, it works. I don't know if they specified on their website if it was HDMI cable or AV cable included. I'll throw up a picture on the screen. I don't remember, honestly. And this is a power cord. It actually looks like an official OEM. Not sure if it is or not, but it looks like it. And of course, here is the console. So let's go ahead and take this out. And at first glance, packaging is a bit lackluster, and yeah, no bubble wrap on the side, not great. And at first glance, it looks a bit dirty, not gonna lie. Okay, let's take this out. All right, so here's this console, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Let me just zoom in and show you guys. All right, so here's the PS3, and looking at it, like as you can see, it appears that. Oh, so first of all, these marks right here from my fingers, but it looks like they wiped it off with some sort of wipe, and it left a bunch of streaks. It's even got bubble wrap marks all over it. Now, speaking of wiping, the console is not the only thing that's been wiped recently. I've been wiping my personal data from the internet using Delete Me. Now, if you're like me, whenever you see those little check boxes on the internet with that crap called terms and conditions next to it, you just click it and continue on with your day, right? Well, apparently that can lead to some pretty annoying repercussions, like your personal data being all over the internet. But that's where Delete Me comes into play. Delete Me will not only find and remove your personal information from hundreds of different data brokers online, but they'll continuously scan for new information that pops up and get that removed as well. I put my info into the Delete Me initial scan, and they found more than 61 data records of my personal information, including this first one that had my age, relatives, address. Yeah, so I'm glad I signed up. To get started, all you got to do is fill out your info on Delete Me's website, and then they'll send you detailed reports over time that give you the status of the removal of your personal information from all these different data brokers. So if you want to help prevent your identity from being stolen, or even just those pesky robocalls and spam emails, sign up for Delete Me today and get your personal information removed from the internet. And if you use my code JacobR or sign up using the link down below, you'll get 20% off their privacy plans. But it feels smooth. I don't know, it still has a ton of scratches on it, which is kind of expected from a PS3, but the fact that this was $500 and they said it was in great condition on the listing, I would have thought they would have like done a full polish of it or something to make it look nice, because there are a lot of scratches on here. It's not as bad as the ones I've seen in the past, but it's not good either. I mean, looking in there, what is going on there? I'm not quite sure. You've got some like residue. I don't know. Honestly, this thing is not looking super hot so far. They called it in great condition. And yeah, let's go over to this side, and oh, it has the original warranty sticker still intact, which usually would be good, but the fact that they're calling this refurbished, and for $500, you would think they would actually refurbish it, like open it up, clean it out, hopefully replace the thermal paste, but like at a minimum should be opening this thing up and cleaning it out, because it is fully refurbished and you're paying like double market value, if not more. And like, guys, I'm not too concerned about the outside, because these PS3s, you just look at them and they get scratches like crazy, but the fact that they called it, because they said it was in great condition, this console is very clearly not in great condition. Don't feel great about that. And like I was mentioning earlier, usually like if I was buying a used console, a warranty, like an original warranty sticker still intact would be great. Like that means nobody's opened it and messed with it. But when you're buying a refurbished console, they should have opened it up, cleaned it out, replaced thermal paste, whatever needs to be done to actually refurbish the console. Yeah, it's a bit concerning. Now I did want to show you this controller closer up, which as you can see, very, very nice condition. Like I don't know if this controller has ever been used. So that's a good thing. I'm glad to finally get an OEM controller and not a third-party controller. So this controller should actually work on PS1, PS2, and PS3 games, unlike the one from DKOldies, which was pretty disappointing. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn this console on, plug it in, and see if it works and plays all the games it should. So I got the console plugged in and ready to test, and I've been looking at this console for a while, and the more I look at it, like the more confused and concerned I am. Not concerned, but just like disappointed in it. Because first of all, $500, that's a lot of money for a backwards compatible PS3. You can find it on eBay for like $200 or less. And the weird thing is, like, I don't know what kind of cleaning chemicals they use, but it smells weird, and it's like oily, and like it leaves fingerprints. Like now if I press my finger on the controller, it leaves fingerprints. I don't know what's going on, but it's just like a weird solution. There's like even some, like, almost call it leakage inside of the where the card slots are. I don't know, it's weird stuff going on where it's like they cleaned it kind of, but not really. So I don't know. Let's turn it on and see what it does, because this thing is interesting. All right, so I already saw when it turned on, I saw some dust blow out the back, which is always a great sign. It does have a green light. It sounds a little bit odd. All right, the console is on, and nice. Oh, so this console was actually not even factory reset. Oh, interesting. So if it was factory reset, it would have taken me through the setup process when I started. So let me go ahead and we'll check what system firmware it's on, and then we'll check a few other things as well. All right, so it's on 4.5, which that's definitely not one of the more recent ones. I'll throw up on the screen when it's from. Now we have user 1, so nothing too special. Any games downloaded? Let me check. Oh yeah, so they actually didn't even, they did not even factory reset this thing. Like, it's still got Injustice Gods Among Us on here, some save data. All right, so the internet does work. That's a good sign. The network card works. Let's go ahead and test out some games now. All right, so first of all, I have Call of Duty Black Ops for the PS3. We'll put this in. Ooh, there it goes. Drive sounds a little bit odd, but it's working.
I'm free.
Okay, so Call of Duty Black Ops is booting up, and this thing has ramped up like 3 levels in the last 5 minutes, and as soon as I got to the 3rd level, I saw a big clump of dust fly out the back, which is just awesome. And now there's some little dust particles floating around my room, so not a good sign. Yeah, so the PS3 game is working fine. All the buttons work. Controller is nice. I'm glad I got an OEM controller instead of third party. That's one good thing. Now, like I said, the PS3 is ramped up pretty hot, and or not even hot. It's just the fans are really ramping up, and the air is pretty lukewarm. Means the thermal paste is probably not doing much. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu, and we'll try out a PS2 game. All right, so GTA Vice City on the PS2 is working fine so far. Now, my main concern is the fact that this thing is up to, I don't know, fan level 4 or 5 by now. It's really ramping up, and the air is just like not hot at all. Like it's just above lukewarm, which that's a really bad sign. Like that means that there's being basically no heat transferred from the chips to the heat sink and being blown out. Not sure how long this thing's gonna last, but at least the game's working for now. Let's go ahead and test out the PS1 game and make sure that works. Yes, I'm not quite sure what happened, but my screen went blank when I quit out of the PS2 game and ejected the game. Not a great sign. Let me try to turn this thing off and back on. I don't know what's going on. All right, guys, so after like 15 minutes of troubleshooting, I'm back. I'm not sure what the issue was. I don't know if it's a PS3 issue or a monitor issue, but just could not get the display to output for like 15 minutes until finally we switched back to AV and then back to HDMI, and it seemed to work. I don't know. It was a weird occurrence. Yeah, but we got PS1 game booted up now, Tekken, and we're just going to make sure, verify it works. So far, so good, but we'll verify. Does anybody actually know the controls of Tekken, or are you just like me where you just smash the buttons as much and hard as possible? This is probably the way you destroy controllers. I don't really play Tekken that much, but oh, there we go. KO. It works. See, it works, guys. But in other news, the PS3 is ramped up again, but PS1's game is working. Let's go back to the main menu, and now I'm just gonna turn the camera off, and I'm gonna play a PS3 game for a couple hours, hour or two, and see what happens. Make sure it doesn't overheat. All right, so I played Uncharted 3 on the PS3 for 2 hours, and the fan got crazy, but it didn't overheat or anything. Now, don't get it twisted. This PS3 playing for 2 hours does not mean that it's not going to overheat sometime in the next year or two or whatever. It's really just kind of an initial test to make sure it doesn't overheat immediately. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what the inside looks like. So warranty sticker is off, and this is what a warranty sticker looks like when you take it off. It's got like you can see through it, and it says void. And of course, I guess the one thing to note is at least they didn't put a warranty sticker on themselves like DKOldies does, so that's kind of cool. All right, so I have the top cover off here, and at first glance, it's always hard to show this on camera. Like, it just doesn't do it justice, but there's a bunch of grime down here, and honestly, I think it's from the cleaning solution they used. I don't know what they used, but like you can see there's some splatter, like it kind of creeped under the surface here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's just like some lines there. Same right there. I don't know if if you can see that very well, but right there, it looks like it came basically underneath and kind of spilled underneath. Same at this corner. Basically at all the corners, there's like some spillage from the cleaning solution they used. I don't know what they used, but it was some weird stuff. And then you can kind of just see like a small layer of dirt and dust, just like a small layer of it. You can tell this has not been opened before, and which is not good for a refurbished console. There's another spot right here. Yeah, you can see right here. You can see the layer of dust. Now, this inherently, like having dust on this little panel right here is not a big deal, but it kind of just gives you a hint at what the rest of the console is going to look like. But let's go ahead and take this piece off, and then we'll really see what it's going to look like. So I almost had an unfortunate mishap on this console. We were trying to open it up, and this screw right here would not come out. Now, what appeared to be happening is basically I was trying to unscrew it, and it wouldn't move at all. It was making a loud screeching noise. It appears that the terminal had become detached from the bottom of the PS3 somehow, which is really weird considering this console has never been opened up before. So it wouldn't come out. Now, eventually, my editor came in here, and Danny, and he worked his finger magic and somehow got it out. And here we are. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, reveal the inside. Well, maybe it'll open up. It's still kind of stuck. Did I miss a screw? All right, now all the screws are out. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. And, oh, actually, not too bad. All right, so here's the top, and the top actually looks fairly clean. Oh, no, it's not. It's got a layer of dust. You can, again, it's so hard to show this, but like when I wipe my finger here, you can kind of see it. There. Yeah, you can see the layer of dust. Like I said, that's inherently not a big deal to have a layer of dust there, but the fact is when you see a layer of dust on that outer piece of equipment, you know that the inside was not clean. So hold on, I see some areas that don't look so good. So let's keep going, and I think we're gonna find some nice surprises here. You can see the further we get down, the more dust there is, because it's harder to get into these areas without opening the console up. And this is why, if it's refurbished, it should be actually opened up. And you can see got some dust down there. Now, comparatively to like that PS3 I got from DKOldies, everything looks clean now. Like this is not clean, but it looks clean compared to how that dust was caked. Cue the B-roll on the screen of that PS3 if we haven't showed it already. All right, power supply is out, and it actually doesn't look too bad. I don't really see any dust caked in there. Actually, there is a bit right there, but and this is all dust that, like, if the console was taken out, it'd be very easy to clean out. You open it up, take the components apart, blow it out, and like I don't get why. I mean, I understand why companies are not opening these things up and cleaning them out, because they're getting away with it, calling them refurbished, charging more money, saving labor hours by not having to open it up. But frankly, if you're calling these consoles refurbished, it's more than used, so you should be refurbishing them. It's a messed up circumstance. And actually, this stuff down here, I don't know what this is, but it's not dust and dirt, because it's like stuck there. So I mean, I guess it could be dust and dirt that just got somehow stuck there. I don't know, but it's almost like something spilled inside of here and just stuck to the metal plate. All right, I think I got this thing detached from the bottom now, and here we go, big reveal. And as expected, lots of dust in the fan. Looks like a desert on the bottom. Again, not as, oh, there's that messed up screw terminal that's just completely detached from the bottom. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, this does not look good. And man, you would think if they even blew in here, they could get more of this out, but that's not a good look. Like, you got dust all caked down there, obviously a ton on the bottom, a bunch down here at the edges where the hard drive is and sits. If you're calling this console refurbished, selling it for $500, this thing should be opened up and cleaned at a minimum. Like, while you're in here, you might as well replace thermal paste too, but it's like critical. These are consoles, PS3s and 360s especially. These things are not going to last very long if they're not opened up and cleaned and thermal paste replaced. All right, yeah, so here's the fan. Fan doesn't look terrible, but again, like, this is, if it was opened up and cleaned, it would not look this dirty. Got this metal piece off. The metal piece itself doesn't look bad, but looking at the board also doesn't look bad, but it's got, you know, dust caked around these edges here, around the thermal pads, around this connector here. Just not clean like it should be. All right, guys, it is time for the thermal paste reveal. Let's go ahead and pull it up on 3, 2, 1. And oh yeah, good old dry thermal paste. It actually looks a little bit better than the last couple PS3s I've seen, but still, like, this is not good at all. Like, you just see all that cracked and dry thermal paste, not covering the entire chip, not getting the heat transfer you need. So basically, what this does here, in case you don't know, you've got your chips here, you got the thermal paste, which basically allows the heat to transfer from the chip to the heat sink, and then the fan blows air out of the heat sink, out of the console to dissipate the heat and, you know, hopefully keep the console cool. Yeah, you should not be calling these consoles refurbished if you're not replacing thermal paste on a PS3, like just basic stuff. All right, so I got this other metal piece off as well. You got dust kind of caked around it a little bit. It's actually not quite as bad as the other parts of the console. So all in all, not a great start from Lukie Games. You know, first console I purchased from them, way overpriced, not refurbished, not clean. I mean, like they wiped down the outside, but honestly, I don't like what they used on the outside. It was some sort of fluid that made it left really weird fingerprints, gave it like an oily feel, leaked into the console. I don't know why they use that stuff. Like I don't know, that was weird. Obviously, the console was never opened, so I don't know how they call it refurbished. Not great. Let me know down below what you think about this versus DKOldies. I guess the one good thing here is that, like, with DKOldies, they're literally making videos where, like, yeah, we open up and clean every console. At least Lukie Games, to my knowledge, is not making videos online and telling people that they're going to do a certain thing and then not doing it. But it's still not good that they're calling consoles refurbished and not refurbishing them. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down below what you think, and I'll see you next time.